Hi there, I'm Heidi Mulligan Walker, and I'm the founder of The Parenting Difference. And last night I was just checking some emails before heading to bed, and I saw a post that the Oprah Winfrey Network had posted on Huffington Post in relation to the Lifeclass that they had held over the weekend with Dr. Shefali Sabari. And the topic of the blog post and the short video clip was all about using natural consequences. And the example that Dr. Shefali used to demonstrate what natural consequences are involved a child who was not turning out the lights as their parent wanted them to do, and the parent had talked to them a number of times, and talking to them about turning off the lights had simply not worked. And Dr. Shefali was recommending that a natural consequence in that situation would be to actually, for the parent to take the light bulb out. And apparently it worked. The child was then scared because there was no light and is meant to then be responsible for their actions there on out. And I'm just really frustrated by this example because Dr. Shefali and Oprah on this Lifeclass have really missed a fantastic opportunity to really help parents truly shift the parenting paradigm of the way that we communicate as a family. And there's a lot missing from the example that they gave. So I really wanted to just take a few minutes to actually share with you using the behavior window from Dr. Thomas Gordon's Parent Effectiveness Training Model, also known as the Gordon Model, to actually explain what was really going on there with this light bulb moment. And I hope actually this might provide a lot of you with the light bulb moments of your own. So I'm just going to switch the camera here for just a second if I can. The behavior window. There are a number of different areas that every situation that we handle falls into with our children. It is either that a child owns a problem, there's no problem area, the parent owns the problem, you both own the problem and it's a conflict of needs, or you both own the problem and it's a conflict of values. And what's really surprising in this situation here is that actually in the light bulb moment that they used on Oprah on the Lifeclass with Dr. Shefali, in that moment, the child does not have a problem. In that moment, the parent owns that problem. Okay? How do we know the parent owns that problem? Because the feeling trail starts with the parent. The parent is the one who's getting upset about the situation. So that's how you know the parent owns the problem. Chances are the child is absolutely fine with those lights being on. In this situation, the parent owns the problem. And the Parent Effectiveness Training Model lets us know that we have a number of skills available to us when we own the problem. We can use our confrontive I messages to have a conversation with our child and let them know and understand the tangible effect that their behavior is having on us. So perhaps in this situation with the light bulbs, it may be excess money being spent on bills would be a tangible effect. Chances are, if maybe it's just driving you crazy and it's not really about the bills and you're maybe just pretending it's about the bills, chances are then there's a larger value at play. In our house, light bulbs, there's a lot of values at play there. My husband actually works in climate change, and he's spending his life actually trying to reduce carbon emissions around the world. And our kids totally understand that there's a lot at stake if we're leaving the light bulbs on and wasting energy. Regardless of whether or not this is light bulbs or some other situation that you're handling, the fact is that at the end of the day, this situation is one where the parent owns the problem and they can use their confrontive I messages or they can use problem solving in order to work with their child on this. And the reason why this is likely to have a better effect and an overall long-term result is that you're actually working on building the relationship with the child at the same time if you use this method instead of something I feel is actually quite sneaky, underhanded, and scheming to be taking light bulbs out. And I just picture lots of parents standing on chairs taking light bulbs out all of America all of a sudden, and we're not really, building stronger relationships. We're actually creating an adversarial relationship with our children and kind of almost gotcha moments where it's not really about scaring our children. It's about we want our children to respect us. And you do that by building this relationship and building up problem-solving capability within your family over a long period of time. You want to be building a helping relationship where your children want to help you and want to listen to what you have to say because you actually help them and listen to what they have to say. And the first thing is for parents to really understand what truly is happening in situations. So in this one, the parent owns the problem, and the parent has a number of things that they can do to actually share with the child why it's important to them that in their family and in their household, they actually turn the lights off. And the thing about it is that you don't do this in the heat of the moment. You actually need to take time in what we call the no problem area to actually have this conversation with your family. And it's not just going to work if you only do it with this type of thing. You need to actually make the commitment in your family to say that you are going to get away from using punishment and reward as far as anything is concerned, and that you want to use problem solving instead to work on things, and that you want to have a relationship in your family where you help each other. And you will need to continually repeat that. I cannot recommend to you enough getting Dr. Thomas Gordon's book, Parent Effectiveness Training, The Proven Program for Raising Responsible Children. In my book, as far as natural consequences are concerned, we're forgetting about the fact that, a natural consequence for, say, something like lying. How about the natural consequence being the way the child feels when they have lied to you? Whether or not they've been caught or not, I don't know anyone else remember lying to your parent as a youngster and how you felt about it. That's a pretty big natural consequence. And in my book, handling situations using that natural consequence and appreciating that our children do have strong feelings about things and do have regrets, will feel guilt or shame, whatever it might be, around a situation is the actual natural consequence. And that is the way to actually, really build up their own moral, their own moral gauge so that they actually are responsible for their behavior. And if we really focus on that, knowing that there are natural consequences that happen with situations. Anything that you yourself put into place in addition to something else happening is not a natural consequence. It's a punishment. Punishment is something that's there at your disposal. My recommendation is use it sparingly so that when you do need to use it, it actually, has an impact. In my family, we do not actually use it and have not for 4 years because it was not working for us. At the end of the day, your children are the ones who are actually in control of whether a punishment or a reward will actually have the desired effect because they determine whether or not the punishment is bad enough or the reward is good enough. And it gets, you just simply create a vicious cycle. So actually moving from using punishment and rewards actually does take some time, and it does take a commitment on the part of an entire family to change the way that you are interacting with each other. That is the true paradigm shift that we need. What Dr. Shefali and Oprah were talking about as far as natural consequences, taking out a light bulb is a punishment and is not a paradigm shift in the way we're communicating. But for a parent to actually be able to take a moment and realize that, oh, actually, I own this problem. I have a strong values-related issue around the light bulbs, or I actually have a strong need, and it's a financial one, around light bulbs actually being left on. And then sitting down and having that discussion with their family in the no problem space when everything is fine, and it's built on a basis of mutual respect where children understand that I want to listen and help mom because mom listens and helps me. It is going to take some time and it does take some effort, but I can tell you that it is going to get much stronger results than people randomly taking out light bulbs or pretending that that is a natural consequence and not a punishment. So please, would love to start a dialogue around this. Do get the Thomas Gordon book. I promise it truly is life-changing. Parent Effectiveness Training, the Proven Program for Raising Responsible Children. Thank you.